So what I want to suggest is that you take at least 3 minutes 3 times a day, or at least 3 minutes once a day. If you can only do it once, just do it once. If you can do it 3 times a day, do it. I think that's the optimal thing to do. But take 3 minutes 3 times a day, committing to investing in abundance on the planet altogether. Means self-sustaining energy, means the planet having its needs met, meaning you having your deepest needs met. And can you imagine what it would feel like? So if you take this 3 minutes, it's just a short meditation, and that whole 3 minutes evoke the feeling of what would it feel like knowing that people are being restored, that healing's happening on the planet, that people's most vulnerable needs are being met, that your most vulnerable needs are being met? Because our needs are all different. For some people, it's their most vulnerable need is they need water. For other people, their most vulnerable need is they need someone to just listen to them and validate them, and so much would shift in their lives. For other, they just need someone to understand them and just see them for who they are. Everyone's and these vulnerable needs, if they can be met, they make everything can shift. Everything can shift. And this is a time where we can really shift things in a powerful way without even having to rally or force people to agree with us or anything. Because when we meditate, we're connecting to the human collective. We're connecting to our subconscious mind, and we can reprogram it there. So we are all connected. We know that. That's proven now. Thank God for quantum physics and what everything we're learning about the nature of our reality, because now we can understand the intangible world, and that there's energy going on around us all the time, and vibration and frequencies, and we can tune in just like a radio to different frequencies that have different information in each of those different frequencies. And it makes way more sense to us now because our logical mind can understand it. So we can start to trust what we are as feelers. We can start to trust the heart. And as we take 3 minutes 3 times a day to tune in to your, first and foremost, to your heart, and the energy that emits from that, which is your toroidal field, your electromagnetic field that is self-sustaining, self-organizing around your body and meeting in the heart. That's your living field of energy that is magnetizing energy to you. So and emitting energy, giving energy. So when you get your resonance, your electromagnetic field at a resonance of peace, and the longer you can sustain it and hold it, the stronger the more you bring that to the planet, and also the more likely you are to tune people around you to that. When you have a weak electromagnetic field, it's easy to be tuned to other people's electromagnetic field. So if they have a strong, intimidating, or bullying energy, it's easy to get shrunk down and not feel in our hearts. So that's why taking 3 minutes 3 times a day to invest, you are investing in the one thing that's being asked for on the planet, pretty much exclusively across the board, which is our needs to be met. Our deepest vulnerable needs to be met. Everyone's praying that their deepest vulnerable need can be met, which ultimately, no matter what the specifics of that are, what we're asking for ultimately is that sense of relief that we're safe, all is well. And we can give that. In any given moment, we can tune into that vibration. It's a vibration that always exists. And so when we consciously tune into it, in this case, 3 minutes 3 times a day, or at least one time 3 minutes a day, 3 minutes in a day, it's a powerful shift. And you would be surprised. Sometimes it's the smallest things that have the highest leverage point. I've been saying this quote a lot, but Jim Rohn says, if you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you'll make a fortune. And that is true. What I was saying in the first video is that you're valuable. What you do and what you are is extremely valuable. And it's important that you understand what it is and how it works and how to value yourself, because you should be making money doing what you do. That is the nature of our reality. There's no reason you should be an exception to that as an empath. People find what they're good at that's being asked for, and people who want it, and they offer it to them for an exchange of money. Or you can do any sort of trade you want. It could be any sort of trade, but that you're actually getting compensated for what you do. And if you think about these 3 minutes 3 times a day as you investing part of what you are, you can think of it as, I'm not only meeting my needs, so I'm giving to myself at the deepest levels. This is that whole, if you work hard on yourself, you'll make a fortune. I am shifting my inner algorithm to abundance so that I'm a match to abundance. And I use the word algorithm on purpose because think of how the internet works. Think of how these algorithm works. these algorithms work to target people and to give you to help you see things that you've been asking for and looking for. It's a perfect reflection of how the universe works. It reflects you to you. So if you get on Google and you type in whatever, empaths, then it starts tracking that for you and starts bringing more of that to you. That is literally how our mind works. And it's how our electromagnetic field works. And it's important to remember that we are the technology. We are the technology, and we're the most advanced technology there is. You can't really recreate what we are. So, not from the mind anyway. So when we give ourselves that 3 minutes a day and we tune in to our deepest needs, what we're doing is we're giving ourselves the imprint or the algorithm of heaven on earth, the imprint or the algorithm of abundance. And abundance really just means having your needs met, getting your needs met, being able to meet your needs when you have them, allowing yourself to have your needs met. And the only reason we would withhold anything from us is because of beliefs that we have of not being worthy of receiving. So if you believe you're not worthy, or if that's just it's being activated in the collective right now, there's this idea humans are so really bad and we should be destroyed. So it's part of not integrating what we are. It's part of integrating our shadow. We have to accept fully what we are and love ourselves. That is how we will thrive. And because when we delete that program that says we're not worthy and we choose to forgive ourselves and love ourselves, we give ourselves the vibration of heaven. Our needs get met. And a villain is only created because of heartbreak, a deep need not getting met. That is how someone goes dark, when we lose our hearts at a deep level. And it makes sense why. So we have to remember the most logical thing, the most practical thing, the most sensical thing that we can do is practice the algorithm of abundance so that our matrix, our internet, starts reflecting it back to us over and over again. So we're investing in the abundance matrix. Now remember, the internet is a tool. It's like training wheels, and it's awesome, and it's one way that we can all connect. But on a much deeper level, that is the nature of what we are, and we are the programmers. And as an empath especially, you have a unique connection to the matrix because you sort of represent humanity where it is, because you can't help but feel. That part of you is just on. And not only do you feel, but you process emotion at such a tremendous speed, and so you get downloads. You're getting intense downloads about humanity all the time. So when you love humanity and you've seen and felt the darkest sides of humanity, and most of us have been through a tremendous amount of trauma, so I guarantee you there's been times in your life where you've thought, I'm done with humanity, like I want to destroy this planet. I know that most of us have felt it at some point or another, that we just do not trust what we are, and this does not feel good, and this should not be allowed to exist. So if we can learn to still love and value the human story, and also see potential and see what we can do with what we are as creators, we've just activated programs that are negative. We're focusing on the algorithm of what we don't want, the algorithm of lack. So that's what we're getting reflected back to us at all times, because at the deepest core levels of what we are, we're in PTSD. So invest in yourself, invest in yourself, invest in yourself. Love is the currency. Humanity needs love to survive. Nothing survives without love. All living things need love to survive. If a baby is not held and nurtured, it will not survive. So humanity needs love, period. And that means releasing judgment, giving ourselves permission to feel everything we feel, because it hurts and we're allowed to feel, but actually using our consciousness, our creative abilities to create a solution rather than focus on the problem. So the only way we can create a solution is we have to first program ourselves with, what does that solution feel like? We are feeling beings at our core. What does that solution feel like? So as you take that 3 minutes, 3 times a day, and connect to what does that solution feel like, you're starting to connect to, on a psychic level or a programming level, you're connecting to the abundance network. You're connecting to the abundance matrix. You're connecting to the streets of heaven on earth that are being built. And we can start building bridges. And this is the most organic thing that we can do. And it's how again, living organisms naturally self-organize. So if we just tune into that, what feels good, move towards what feels good, we will naturally self-organize into what needs to be done, because that is what our species does. So we have to remember to be able to trust our instincts and trust what feels good and what doesn't. And the only way to know that is by tuning into how you feel. Does this feel good? Does it feel good in my innermost being? Am I sacrificing something? And you know instantly, if you're in the lack matrix, you're bypassing your heart, your mind, or your body. You're bypassing some aspect of yourself, and it won't feel good. So that algorithm of abundance is all of my needs are met. All of people's needs are met, no matter who they are in anywhere in the world. I am investing in everyone's most vulnerable need being met. And like I said, for some person it might be they need a glass of water. For another person it might be they need a hug and they need validation. Someone else needs to invest in their marketing because they are meant to get out there and have their gifts, whatever it is. I just feel like I am so excited to see what happens as we all start doing this more and more, that we remember that we're all connected, that we don't even have to use the internet to connect. We can, and in fact, it's almost more pure if we connect to our true, most safest heaven in our hearts, and then imagine our energy going out and getting very strong in our electromagnetic field. This is my ideal. This is what I want. I want my life to feel like. This is what I want Earth to feel like. And then start connecting. Imagine that you are connecting to that reality. So you're fueling it. You're giving it life by focusing on it, by fueling it. And just give it 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 3 times a day, and see what happens. But I hope that I have convinced you to invest in yourself, because you're needed right now. And like I said, one of the best things that we can do is get abundant in every single way, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in every single way, abundant. And true abundance, which is not about money. Remember, the real currency we're working with here is love. That is the ultimate currency, and we're getting down to the nuts and bolts of things right now. Love is going to be, we are voting with what we give our focus to. And so withdraw your vote from any dynamic or conversation or community or thought process that is draining you, that is bypassing some aspect of what you are, that doesn't feel abundant. And start voting with your algorithm of abundance. Start connecting and training and reprogramming your resonance to abundance. And the truth of the matter is, we're gonna have to invest in emotional healing. It is so important that you heal, especially as an empath, because like I said, you are a vulnerable aspect on the planet right now, and that's why you're the highest leverage point. You're the highest leverage point to invest in. You are the highest the heart is the highest leverage point to invest in right now. Creations that come from the heart, that are truly inspired from the heart, that are coming from that, what does restoration feel like? That is going to be what resonates across the board with everyone. It's going to be what resonates. So feel into that. But the people who stay in the lack matrix, you'll see our matrices will get further and further apart, because the people who want to keep creating the victim, aggressor, savior paradigm that reality is going to get dense in its own way, and it's splitting off. So I really think it's important that you invest in your abilities, invest in understanding them, invest in knowing them, invest in giving yourself that energy of what you want to feel like. And more than anything, invest in the network. Connect. Start training your electromagnetic field to connect. Just like the internet, you can connect instantly. Send messages. It doesn't even matter who. That's the great part about what we are. We don't have to organize and like I said, vote into it and have committees and try to convince people to agree with us and get angry about it if people don't agree with us. All of that has its own place, but the real power is the causal plane, and that's where we're programming things. It's where the programming's going on. It's where the subconscious mind is being uploaded with information. So you are part of programming that. Every single one of us are. And if you tune in and start tuning into what you want to hear, what your greatest allies are, what it feels like to really connect to the human heart and what's really going on, and how it feels to give yourself what you need. That's going to be the most instant relief, and it's what everyone's asking for. So please click on the link in the description box for my free class on how to train your electromagnetic field, how you train your electromagnetic field to abundance. your algorithm to abundance. And again, I'm using all these words very purposefully because this is what we're doing on a very literal level. So hope you guys are doing well. Ciao.